around here. To the side. Now we can play this big boy. Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. We're playing today with the Cyber Nest, Gyruda, Doom of the Depths, and Titan's Nest. This is a formidable combo within Fae of Wishes, Granted, and Alrund's Epiphany from our sideboard. Today we'll break down the deck list, talk about each individual card, strengths, the weaknesses of the lot. Then we'll visit the strategies and synergies, learn how they come together to form a coherent archetype, moving into the gameplay footage, looking at our playlines and interactions so you can make a judgment call whether or not this is a deck that you want to be spending your wildcards on or not. Moving into our wrap-up thoughts, giving away a $10 gift card to Grey Viking Games to anyone who liked the video and commented, so get in on that. Thank you all again for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to your friends, family, and MTG playgroups. Support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, our Amazon link, and our Grey Viking Games link. Everything will be in the description below, or you can Google Hello Good Game Linktree. Let's get into the deck. The Cyber Nest is a Sultai Midrange deck with an average converted mana of 3.8. We have 17 creatures and 18 non-creatures, 25 lands, if you can believe it or not. Lots of lands in the deck. We have Gyruda, Doom of Depths as our companion. When we have Gyruda as our companion, we have to follow the deck building rule that states your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana cost. So everything in our deck has to be an even cost. And of course, Gyruda is a 6/6. Whenever it enters the battlefield, each player mills 4 cards, and then you get to put a creature card with even converted mana cost from among those milled cards into the battlefield under your control. This is absolutely amazing, and there's nothing like playing something of your opponent's. And we can also combo that into, our own creatures, in which, it could even be another Gyruda. We have 3 more copies of it in our main board, allowing us to kind of push that process over again and again and again. And that's actually one of our main strategies and synergies, because we will be comboing it with Thassa Deep Dwelling, a 6/5 with Indestructible. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, it's not a creature. And we can actually get our devotion to 5 relatively easily with the deck, so you'll have a 6/5 attacker/defender. Better than this though, we can pay 4 to tap another target creature. That's absolutely amazing. And at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, and then return it to the battlefield under your control. This is great. Again, bouncing or flickering, I guess we could say. Gyruda, it re-enters, we get that mill again, we get to pull a creature from either of those milled cards from our opponent or ourselves, which is great. We're utilizing the self-mill to get us into a victory with Thassa's Oracle, a 1/3, and when Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Then put one of those cards on the top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards remaining in your library, you win the game. So, we're basically hunting rogues today. That's our main objective, punishing them for just solely existing, whether it's through the self-mill or whether it is through the self-mill and the counter spells. It's not that great against us, because we also have the escape. So we're utilizing, the self-mill through the graveyard to win the game. And we're also utilizing the self-mill for the escape to replay things from our grave, right? Obviously, Pulcheranos is a 0/0. It enters the battlefield with 6+1/+1 counters on it. If it escaped, it enters with 12+1/+1 counters on it instead. If damage would be dealt to it while it has counters on it, prevent that damage and remove that many counters. We can pay 3 to have it fight another target creature. We can replay it from the grave for 6 mana plus exiling 6 other cards from our graveyard, right? That's going to empty our grave to kind of take down that rogue buff. Again, the deck isn't solely made to play against rogues. It'll play against any deck effectively, but it really does help to punish, you know, that rogue archetype, which I'm sure you know that I can't stand. Speaking of punishing that rogue archetype, Titan's Nest, an enchantment for 4. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, exile a card from your graveyard, add 1 colorless mana to spend only on a spell that's 1 or more colors without X in its cost. Again, graveyard control of our own. We can at will exile cards from our graveyard, right? Even if we don't spend the mana, we can just empty our graveyard at any point. I'm so sorry, rogues. You know, you're Into the Story, your Lull Mage Domination, your Soaring Thought Thief, your Guild Thieves Enforcer. These are all going to get shut down now thanks to Titan's Nest. Absolutely amazing. Plus, we can reduce the cost of all of our cards, you guys. This is very good. We will get into our sideboard here in a second because we are playing Alrund's Epiphany. This is a 7 CMC sorcery. Create a 2/1/1 blue bird creature tokens with flying. Take an extra turn, then exile it. Foretell for 6. We can exile cards from our graveyard, cast Alrund's Epiphany for 2 mana. Gulp. That's something to be noted. So, you know, that's kind of what the deck revolves around as its core. You know, Gyruda, Thassa, Titan's Nest, Thassa's Oracle, Alrund's Epiphany, right? Of course, you know, we did mention punishing rogues with other parts of the deck like Pokranos Unchained. And, you know, this just has general synergy with Titan's Nest because you can mill it and then bring it back free of charge, which is quite nice. Branching out from there, of course, we do need a way to access our sideboard. That's the Fae of Wishes, a 1/4 with flying. We can pay 2 to discard 2 other cards from our hand to return the Fae from the board into our hand. So, you know, we cast Granted, which is a 4 CMC sorcery adventure. You may reveal a non-creature card you own from outside the game, put it into your hand. Great. Alrund's Epiphany. And then we cast it as the flyer. We bring it back to our hand. We recast Granted, Alrund's Epiphany back, right? And then we just kind of stack Alrund's Epiphanies in Foretell. Then once we're ready, boom, you pop them all at once with Titan's Nest, which is going to be a lot of fun. We'll break down the rest of the sideboard to wrap up. Filling out the rest of the deck, though, we have some removal, 2 copies of Eliminate, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less, 2 copies of Heartless Act. Both of these are 2 mana. Both of them are instant speed. Heartless Act. Choose 1, destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove 3 counters from target creature. We have more removal within the 4 copies of Extinction Event. Sorcery speed, choose odd or even, exile each creature with the chosen converted mana cost. This is 4 mana again. We have Pokranos Fight effect, that's a little bit of removal. And of course, Binding of the Old Gods ×4, a saga. When it enters play, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. On our next draw step, search your library for a basic forest card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And finally, our creatures gain Death Touch until the end of turn. You know, it's alright, it's fine. More removal within Kogla, the Titan Ape. It's 7/6. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature we don't control. Whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls, and we can pay 2 to return a human we control to our hand and gain indestructible until the end of turn, which is quite nice. And a little bit more removal within the Massacre Wurm, a 6/5. When it enters the battlefield, target creatures your opponent control get -2/-2 until the end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, that player loses 2 life. So, you know, some big creatures here within the removal. We have some draw within Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, a 3/2 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, opponent looks at the top 3 cards of our library, separates them into 2 piles, 1 face up, 1 face down, and we as a player get to pick one of those piles, pushing those cards into our hand, which is really quite nice. More draw and disruption within Sublime Epiphany for 6 mana. Again, much like Alrund's Epiphany, we can cast this for 2. That's a lot of value for 2 mana. Choose 1 or more, counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, target player draws a card. There's a lot going on here, right? We can make a copy of the Cyberclaw. That's amazing. You know, that triggers that whole situation that we want to trigger as many times as possible. Again, we can bounce something of our opponents, we can counter something of our opponents, we can even draw cards, which is quite nice. So the Sublime Epiphany is so good with Titan's Nest. Bringing things full circle, you know, we do have 2 islands, 2 swamps, a forest, 4 pathways of the Clearwater, Murkwater, Dark Boar, Slither Boar, and Bark Channel, Tide Channel varieties, 4 Zagoth Triomes, and 4 passages. Let's break down the sideboard now. Sorcerer's Spyglass. This is here to shut down Planeswalkers. We don't run Planeswalkers, so shut them down, whether it's an Ugin, you know, or an Ashiok, whatever it happens to be. As the Spyglass enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand, choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. You know, there's a couple other things that we can get, but really, you know, we're hunting Ugins with the Spyglass. With the Runestone, we're hunting recursion decks. An artifact for 2 mana, non-land permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield, and then players can't cast spells from graveyards or abilities. You know, this is really, really good. It will shut our deck down a little bit, right? It shuts down, you know, Gigan, but it is better to play around your own spells than allowing your opponent just to while out, right? It could be a Rakdos deck for something, and, you know, we don't want to be dealing too much with the recursion. Obviously, we do have the Extinction Event, but it doesn't always work the way we want it to. We have a single copy of Teferi, Master of Time, just for fun, 3 loyalty. We can activate his loyalty abilities on either player's turn, both players' turn, in fact, and at any time, at instant speed. Draw a card, discard a card, +1, -3, target creature you control phases out, or you don't control phases out, sorry, and then -10, you take 2 turns after this one, which is great. We have an additional Thassa, in case we don't pull one, which can go because we can't pull creatures, LOL. I always think that it's, you know, an enchantment, but it's actually an enchantment creature, so that's kind of funny. We have a Lithoform Engine for 4 mana, legendary artifact. We can pay 2, tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. You know, we do have Thassa's tap ability, right, for 4 mana, so, you know, we could easily copy that. We can also pay 3 to copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. You know what we're copying? Alrund's Epiphany, baby, and then copy target permanent spell you control. We could just be copying our Gigans or Gyrudas, if you will, as many times as we want, which is really quite nice. You know, we can be copying Binding of the Old Gods. Really anything here is quite nice. Thassa's Oracle. You know, many things in the deck to copy. 2 copies now of Shadow's Verdict at sorcery speed. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalkers with 3 or less from the graveyards as well. An additional Epiphany, you know, 4 Alrund's Epiphany, and, you know, we talked about that already, where you make the birds, you take an extra turn. We have Kyora Best, the Sea God, a Saga. First off, when it enters play, you get an 8/8 Kraken with Hexproof. Next up, tap all of your opponent's stuff they don't untap. And then finally, gain control of target permanent and opponent controls, untapping it. And we have a Seagate Restoration for 7. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand +1. Then you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. You know, within a self-mill, if you can get a big draw, that's great. Of course, the added utility of those cards in your hand is going to be perfect as well. The Great Henge, you know, just for fun, we have a lot of creatures entering play. And this spell does cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. It could come into play for 3, which is quite nice. We can tap it to add mana plus gain 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card, which is, you know, that key part that we're looking for here. But a lot of this is just for fun. Your main objective, you know, get Alrund's Epiphany over. If you're not looking to shut down something of your opponent, stack Alrund's Epiphany in your hand, put it in Fortell. Once you're done with that, you know, grab your Lithoform Engine, get it in play, and then start cracking your Alrund's Epiphany for basically 2 mana with your Titan's Nest. The Lithoform is great as well, because, you know, we'll have all that extra mana from our Nest spared up through the Epiphany. You know, exiling 5 cards from our graveyard is going to hurt a lot of rogues, and, you know, we do have the mill that the Nest provides organically, and our stuff will be dying as well. The removal goes to the graveyard, and we have the Gyruda, which self-mills us as well. So, you know, it's not really any, you know, drawback to Titan's Nest, because it's so easy to fill our graveyard with the deck and the current meta. So with that being said, you know, our main objective, Thassa's Oracle, mill for the win, right? If not, you know, we can attack. We've got lots of attackers, whether it be Pokranos, the Worm, Kogla, even Gyruda can attack quite effectively. We can, you know, grab things like the Sea God for an 8/8 and take our opponent's stuff, and they can't block. So, you know, that's going to help us attack if we want to get the kill that way. If not, we're basically just controlling the match. Like I said, getting the Epiphanies, getting the engine, and going to Copy Town while we're removing all of our opponent's stuff and self-milling as well. So, you know, it's a good deck that I'm really actually looking forward to fine-tuning a little bit further and playing more with, because, you know, it actually kind of beats up rogue decks, and I'm a big fan of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's gameplay footage and you learned something a little bit from the deck tech maybe. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to your friends, your families, your MTG play groups, any of your internet chat boards, etc. That's a great way to help my channel grow. Of course, if you don't want to take the effort and you just want to support financially, I'm game with that too. On Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, our Amazon link, and Grey Viking Games link. Don't worry though, it's not all to me. I'm giving back to the community thanks to you guys. If it weren't for the support, I wouldn't be able to give back. So shoutouts to all of you supporting our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize monthly tournament, Brawl, and Artisan. Again, free entry, cash prize on MTG Melee. Just look up Hello Good Game. It's all also in the Discord. 100 one-on-one coaching sessions with myself that also comes with a cash prize, and so much more. So check out the community, introduce yourself, say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Enjoy also the gameplay footage today. I know I did, and we will be back soon with our wrap-up thoughts. All right, our opponent plays first. Triome can come in as number 4. We have removal playing against rogues. You know how much I love that, right? My favorite deck to play against, especially when they take like 5 minutes a turn, right? I'm just kidding. They're not all bad. Some of them are. They're not all bad. So you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt, skis. Oh, I love the event. I love the worm. Event 4, binding 5, worm 6, question mark. We need to stack 3 black mana. Keep that in mind. We have 7 in hand, so I'm not taking Gyruda. I can chill. Alright, I don't want to discard anything. Oh, a Thought Thief in play. Another Thought Thief in play. Groundbreaking. Counterspell. Could be drowned in the lock. They don't have the black available. We'll have to see, though. We have 2 black, the 3rd in the passage. Or 4, this is 5. We also have binding that can pull the black source. Oh, nice. They get our nest. Jerk. If it's a counterspell, let's have Thassa countered. It's a must counter for them. They know we've got Gyruda. Whoa! It's a bounce spell then? Petty Theft. Or they're just like, screw it, it doesn't do anything, let's leave it. Into the story. Makes sense. They always have it. 100% of the time they into the story. I mean, we did get 2 Thought Thieves. Let's empty our graveyard. Even if they counter it, we're emptying our grave. And that hurts them. Right, that's a good play for us. It pulls out the counterspell, we can replay it later. And we emptied our grave. Heartless Act doesn't work, Eliminate doesn't act. Ground in the lock works, of course. A third Thought Thief. Stop it! And a Rune Crab. Great. They get our event. Groovy. It's a groovy. They kick the Thirst. They're totally tapped out. And that's what we want. Oh, they get another event and another nest. In Rogues. So they're tapped. Let's see how lucky we can get. Alright, they're milling us. So if we can get a Thassa. We did. $27. We look at the top 5, we put 1 on top. We have 3 green. Only 1 green. 2 in hand. Let's fade at the sideboard. But they're gonna mill that anyways. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's turn on the Jets. I'm gonna crack the passage to put Fae back into the library so they don't mill it. I know, it's weird, but it's what's best. Oh, and we had Gyruda as well. So it would have been into play. We don't really want it into play. Get another little self-Milskis. And they're milling this, right? So let's put a land on top. It's kind of awkward playing against Rogues with Thassa's Oracle. Typically we'd want to set up our next turn, but we actually want to kind of hide our next turn if we can. They need to kill these Oracles. Of 1 mind. If we could get an Epiphany up, we win. They kill Gyruda instead. I mean, that's acceptable. 3 mana up. 1 of the Oracles is gone. Thassa's off the field. They hit us for 4. We mill. We lose land. We lose Thassa. We lose another one here. Down to 6. An Extinction Event. Wow. We're at 19. I don't know if we'll get this. I don't think we will. Especially because they have counter magic up. I mean, it's not much. Return to their hand the Thought Thief, copy of the creature, and we draw. Land on top. It doesn't matter. Land on top. So we should survive. They mill us down to 14. Again, we've got 2 oracles that they need to deal with. The 12. Are they just going to mill us, or are we going to get the win through self-mill? I'm so interested. Did we finally beat Rogues at their own game? We did. I think we did. Yeah, for sure we did. Good game. We have 8. We can't play that. We just need to bounce this. Do we have any blue we can play? Titan's Nest opens up the playability of our binding. One attack. He's got indestructible. Kill the crab. Oof. Let's warm it up. So they're going to take some draws here. We get the kill on the Enforcer. They counter the Worm. That's 2 in a row. We win with self-mill versus Rogues. With the Titan's Nest. Oh my gosh. Now is that a rewarding way to beat Rogues or what? Using your graveyard that they provide for you, you know, with the Nest, with the Pokranos, using the self-mill that they provide to you as well through Thassa's Oracle. Mwah. Our opponent is playing first. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. No, it's okay. We have early game removal. Look at us go. Feel alive. This is going to take an island for us. Brings online our Epiphany. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. What do they take? Binding, Epiphany, Gyruda, maybe even Event if they're a creature deck. You're going to think it through. They're gonna think it through. So I'm not bringing this in hand because they already took 1. It's gonna stay right there. We pick up a Worm. You know, that's good if there's any creatures or tokens, but I doubt it. We have the Event, that's good for anything else. Single target within the binding. Heartless Act. Okay, this Nest is going to be nice. Taking a blue source here. We have 2 cards in grave. We have 2 colors of each mana. Looking for another black. Looking for another green. Triome would be perfect. We can get that within our binding. Murderous Rider just in play. I love it, but I also hate it. Graveyard. I was hoping we'd get a land anyways. We don't, which kind of hurts us, but there's worse things. Nest in play. That's going to pull us a land. You know, we do have 3 in the grave now, which we would have had anyways. We should have taken it and used it as the land. I was hoping to pull a land from underneath of it as well. Didn't really work out. Just looking for our lands. We get one here. Triome into play. Second green source in play. And our opponent's kind of like bricking. We can use our Epiphany here if we want. Let's see what they play. I mean, if they attack first, we can use Heartless Act. And then just kind of like dodge the damage and stuff. No, they play right away. That's perfect. We're going to counter this. Counter, return, draw. Return, draw, counter. Autopay. Toss the passage out. Get the land. Oh, graveyard. Right, because we get access to it anyways. All of our land is a go. I'm sure they have removal. Let's just go for it. I think we'll have to discard a few here. Do our non-creatures first, I guess. Why not? Good habit. Oh, we get another Gyruda. Let's just take Atris, though. Force the draw. We're really looking for Thassa. There she is. No, it's another Gyruda. Okay. So that'll be all of them, because there's 2 in the grave. 1 in my hand, 1 in play. That seems fine. Dead weight. Nice. Good for them. Graveyard. Sacrifice it. This is our last one. I don't want to... Well, they have discard, though, so we have to just go for it. Where are you, Thassa? Let's hold off here. I mean, they have a full hand still, which is kind of tricky. Fae of the Wishes can save us, though. Right? Taking us to a sideboard with Titan's Nest in play is really good. Basically gives us all the mana we need. Yeah, so they spend their whole turn to kill our last Gyruda, which is good on them. Let's grab that to our hand. Graveyard. Another nest. So let's grab some mana here. 1, 2, 3. And then we play Granted for 1 mana, basically. And what do we want here? Let's toss that over for later. And let's put the Fae in hand again. And we're gonna rotate that whole thing over and over again. We're gonna stack Alrund's Epiphanies into Foretell from our sideboard, so they still don't have access to them, right? Again, we do the exact same thing. Toss the Nest. Toss the Worm, why not? Grab that back. To the graveyard. We do the same thing. Nest can go. I wish we could do multiples at once, but it's fine. Binding can go. I've seen some lands in there. They can go. Oh, that's 3. Back to our sideboard. Grab Alrund's Epiphany. Or tell it over. Pay and play. We pass our turn. It's a different kind of control. You can think of it that way. Scavenger in play. No, that's fine. Let's toss it back to our hand. We can also just kindly scoop that out of existence. Lands always go as a priority for me. Graveyard. We're down to 21. Black Source in play. You guys know the deal. Yeah, and we don't have any Thassa's Oracles in here yet, so they're still in our deck, which is really good for us. Let's take all around here. To the side. Now we can play this big boy. It's a 12-12. That's about to take triple turns. They get a chance to remove it. Sure. That was not it. So let's have some fun with this. Oh, come on! We were gonna cast 3 turns for 6 mana. Yeah! That would have been a lot of fun. So the Titan's Nest, you know, just stacking Alrund's Epiphany up is like a thing. A really good thing, I feel like. Alright, going first. I'm not sure we'll ever get last match repeated, but that's the ideal play route, is just Alrund's Epiphany, stack it up, play them for 2 with Titan's Nest, which is great. That's so good. Triome in play to open up. Racing to Thassa on 4. I guess. Just the tip. Classy name. I think tempo maybe. Interesting. We're in slow. We have no removal. Sag. We'll do our best though. They hold up removal. Let's pass our turn. We have Eliminate. It must be a flash creature? No, they just dump in. Okay, let's kill the spirit before they get counter magic open. Right, because I don't want them to protect that. No counterspell on the Nest. That's pretty cool. There could be bounce spells though, right? Now that's not ideal. Doesn't really do anything though. She'll pray. I mean, we have access to Thassa. 2, which leaves us 3 mana. That's not enough for anything. So we'll just pay full cost, keep the cards in our grave. Baron's in play. We're just dumping to the side. It could be a counterspell. We have 2 copies though, right? So it doesn't matter. We can also go into our grave if we had to. We don't have enough for granted, so let's just hold on. There's no bounce with Thassa. Barons gets some tokens, that's okay. We're gonna get hit with Barons, I guess. They're holding up counter magic for sure. We could just sit here though and like tap the Barons as soon as it comes in play with Thassa. Right? They're trying to get to Ugin. Well, I love that card. That stops Ugin. Let's end the turn. Barons is cool, but we can tap it with Thassa. Spirit in play, sure. Okay. Take our turn. Just looking for some more removal here. Gonna eliminate. Ooh, Graveyard for sure. We have 3 plus 5 is 8, which isn't enough. It's gonna fly her out. It's just a defender for the spirit, really. Submit 0 with Thassa. Sure. Could be Ugin, right? They've got the mana. Well, not yet. Next turn. But it's close. We're not doing anything about the Simulacrum either. Most things go to the grave. I would take an event. Ooh! That's our turn. Oh, I guess we could have attacked for 1 and then bounced it back to defend, but irrelevant. Okay, so this thing's annoying. Resolve, sure. Let's tap that out. Alright, that's kind of annoying. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pass our turn. We don't have anything to bounce. We can shut down the Barons. We can counter Ugin. I need to counter Ugin, right? That's the only thing that saves us here. They're taking a draw. We'll take the damage. They didn't use the Barons, so it makes me think that there's something else going on. There it is. There it is. Draw, counter, bounce. Let's get rid of our land with the Nest. And the event with the Nest. Put it in play. We have a lot of cards in deck still, 35. Let's bounce Gyruda. See what we get. We don't get anything. Total whiff skis. Total whiff skis. We can block the Barons pretty successfully here. We could even tap, you know, with the Nest and Thassa as well. And then we've got a big hit if they're sinking their stuff into the Barons. As far as I'm concerned, we've done our job, though. We countered that Ugin. If they pull more, they pull more. Why do I even speak out loud? Brutal. It's -6. How lucky can you get?
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
And we're also bricking on mana like no tomorrow. I guess we could have known that Ugin was a threat earlier and tried to get it with the Fae before. I didn't think of shutting it down, to be honest. Who drops Ugin turn after turn? So we probably could have worked our way out of that, but it's still going to be ultra annoying. Yeah, we need an eliminate too, because we're just dead. Close match.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
We have a third Ugin in hand. Are you kidding me? What a joke. The Simulacrums are going to beat us up pretty good. Maybe we should have played both. Okay, it's good we didn't. We could have bounced it to our hand, I guess. Oh, I see. Good game. 3 Ugins. Wow, bro. Alright, let's play one more match. Alrighty, I forgot to mention this earlier. Make sure to download Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant. Check out your collection, then go Deck Advisor and see which decks you can play based on your current card collection. See how I'm missing cards here at the bottom? And then at the top, we've got them all. So we know that we could play all of these. Oh my gosh. All of these decks here. If I can. There we go. To the top. To the top. Mono red aggro. Big surprise. But yeah, download that for free in the comments below. Buy your MTG codes from Grey Viking Games and your Amazon goodies through my link, so that can help support me. Nobody does that. I'm surprised you guys don't shop on Amazon more. Or maybe you've got some other affiliate feeding you Amazon goodies. I don't know. It's fine though. Yeah, it's a cool day. Cool video. I'm doing the recordings today before I go live on Twitch, and we'll do the deck building later. I'm kind of getting burnt out by doing just like hours and hours of Twitch in the morning and then trying to record videos. So we're going to flip that equation. Gonna do my recording first while I'm fresh, and then, you know, just kind of veg out on Twitch, have fun. So thank you all for being part of this journey. I appreciate you. You know, a couple seconds left to enter into that $10 giveaway that I do every single video. Don't miss out on that. Blah, 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 blah. More stuff, more stuff, more stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. What are you guys looking forward to, you know, within Strixhaven? What kind of things are you predicting, right? I know that we're kind of getting past that initial release of Call Time now. We're getting into that middle phase, right? That middle month. And then soon, you know, in another month, we're right back into spoiler season. We're right back into theory crafting and beginning to, you know, look towards the future. So we're right in the middle of it right now. And, you know, it feels good. But what are you looking forward to? What changes would you like to see made? Let's begin that discussion, right? So with that all being said, again, thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Make sure to watch some more videos today. That's a great way to help support me as well. Don't stop at 1 video a day. I'm doing 2 a day, so you should be watching 4 a day. I have almost 1,000. This is like 977, I think. So, you know, that's a number. And I'm looking forward to doing another 977. We're pulling up to 1,000 quick. We got to do something special as well for 1,000. What can we do that's special to celebrate 1,000 YouTube videos? We gotta do something. Something really cool that draws in a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like, how can I go from 20,000 subs to 30,000 subs just by this 10,000 video event? Or 1,000 video event? Maybe if we could advertise $1,000 giveaway? That's a lot of money that I don't necessarily have. But if it took me from 20k to 30k, it might be worth it. I don't know. We have so many giveaways already. But, I mean, I'd rather support the community than advertisers, right? Like, if I can... Well, I don't know. I would rather help support the community, but maybe advertisers is more efficient. That's why they exist. Right? Awkward. This is a conversation for another time, though, you guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. We'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.